there's a big problem in this country with the financial banking system and Black people and our access to capital. You know, I know that it breaks down. We have, 13 to 15% of the country trying to live off of half a percentage of wealth, 0.05% of wealth.
Ice Cube faced significant backlash for his interview with Tucker Carlson, where they discussed a range of topics, including politics and social justice movements. The interview, conducted in a car ride through Ice Cube's old neighborhood in South Central Los Angeles, sparked outrage among many fans who accused him of aligning with a controversial figure known for far-right views.
Do you think that it's harder to be a man in America now than it was when you were a kid?
Yes. Saying what you feel, being yourself, is what they call toxic. We shouldn't be called toxic for our instincts and for, I was born this way. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Why can't we be ourselves? We were born this way too.
So there are some groups, like if I say I'm trans, and people say, that's great, you were born that way, we affirm you. But if you say I'm just a dude with male instincts, you're not affirmed, you're attacked.
Yeah, everybody doesn't really have to affirm you, If I wake up and say, I feel like a pigeon, and I want everybody to treat me like a pigeon. Some people may say, whatever, Q, we treat you like a pigeon. But some people may choose to be like, dude, no. That's your world. I'm not part of it.
Critics labelled Ice Cube a sellout, arguing that his appearance with Carlson contradicted his long-standing image as a rebellious, anti-establishment artist. The rapper defended himself, emphasising his distrust of politicians and his willingness to speak with anyone, regardless of their political affiliation, to advocate for his community.
Most of us who might be represented by guys like little-known podcaster Joe Rogan and little-known rapper Ice Cube. Ice Cube was the guest on Joe Rogan's podcast a couple days ago. They got into this craziness about Bud Light and Target going woke and how the average person, like you, like me, has just about had enough. That's the point. It's not that people are not accepting of different lifestyles, or often, as I say, as an adult, you want to dress however you want, you want to marry whoever you want. Okay, most people are on board that sort of thing. Not everybody, and by the way, everybody's entitled to their own religious beliefs and everything else. You can't legislate other people's freedom, right? We all deserve the same individual rights. But Rogan's hitting it there at the end. When you walk into Target, you're there to buy something, right? You want to buy I'd like to buy toilet paper. I want to get some beer, let's say. I want to get some kids' clothes. I want to get a basketball. And what else would I get there? A candle. That's what I'm at Target for. I don't need to walk in and be bludgeoned with stuff that will have kids tucking their genitals so that they can pretend to be the other gender, right? And we know the same thing with Bud Light and everything else.
Ice Cube's repeated public interactions with conservative figures like Tucker Carlson have been seen by some as a challenge to the so-called gatekeepers in media and entertainment. In these interviews, he has voiced his frustration with Hollywood's power dynamics and the political left's control over discourse.
If it's new booty in the building, you know he's gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
Nigga, you can take the bitch, but he wants you. He ain't worried about that bitch. he is not worried about that bitch at all. Okay, he ain't.
During his appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience, Ice Cube criticized companies that he believes have embraced woke culture for profit while failing to make meaningful changes. He warned that these corporations were hypocritical and that their performative gestures were not helping society.
By the way, the two executives in charge of the campaign have been fired.
In the same interview with Tucker Carlson, Ice Cube also made comments about transgender issues, sparking further controversy. While he did not delve deeply into the topic, his remarks were perceived by some as dismissive or critical of the LGBTQ+ community, which added fuel to the backlash against him.
So there are some groups, like if I say I'm trans and people say that's great, you were born that way, we affirm you. But if you say I'm just a dude with male instincts, you're not affirmed, you're attacked.
Yeah, I mean, everybody doesn't really have to affirm you, you know? If I wake up and say, you know, I feel like a pigeon, I want everybody to treat me like a pigeon. Some people may say, whatever, Q, they treat you like a pigeon. But some people may choose to be like, dude, no. That's your world. I'm not part of it. And I have to be ready for that. It's a big world out here. Everybody doesn't have to adhere to me.
Ice Cube's comments during various interviews, including his appearances with Carlson and Rogan, have particularly upset the LGBTQ+ community and progressive political circles. His statements were seen as aligning with right-wing viewpoints, drawing ire from groups that once saw him as an ally.
You notice a pattern there? You notice a pattern of the people who are the most upset? You got the angry white liberal. You got the angry LGBTQ community member. Then you have the super liberal black woman that is upset about this. What I find interesting about this is that these people are not upset with the Democrats for not listening to Ice Cube or for taking Ice Cube seriously. They're more upset about the fact that he dared try to work with President Trump to, I don't know, try to help Black America. Now, I've been following Ice Cube for a while in terms of his contract with Black America, because I think Ice Cube's heart is in the right place. But the answers that he's seeking are not in the contract for Black America, because that's a handout. His contract for Black America calls for reparations and all types of stuff that politically is not viable, is never going to happen. And quite honestly, it's going to create more racial animosity between, you know, white people and black people here in America. Because if you were to implement something like that, in which you just give black people handouts and say, hey, you know, here's everything that we feel like you're owed. A lot of poor white people in this country are going to be like, well, I didn't have it good coming up. My family didn't have it good. I grew up without a father. I, you know, didn't have the best circumstances. I've been working minimum wage my whole life. Where's my handout? Or my parents were descendants of, you know, the Irish who were discriminated against back in the day. Or, you know, something of that nature, where they'll find a way to say, well, people will find a way to say, well, I didn't get my fair shot in life either. Where's my handout? A party helped the government get out of the way. You want the government to get out of the way, right? That's what you really want. That's what you're seeking. All these super liberals love to talk about systemic racism. By definition, if what you say is true, systemic racism exists. You're saying that there's a government institution, there's a system set up that systemically oppresses black people. What is that? That is the government. So if you want to fight this systemic racism, again, according to them, then you should align with the party that is for less government. Black people have been voting Democrat since the Civil Rights Act. 95% lockstep in with the Democrats.
Ice Cube also claimed that he was cancelled by Oprah Winfrey, alleging that she refused to give him a platform due to his outspoken views. He expressed frustration over what he perceives as gatekeeping by influential figures in the media. These remarks were part of a broader narrative Ice Cube has pushed, suggesting that his independent views have led to exclusion from mainstream platforms controlled by liberal elites.
And once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know.
On Oprah's show.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's really.
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
I really don't know. You know, that's something that I would love to find out. But I can't tell you, you know, if there's a single thing that I've done or said to her.
Have you noticed that it is more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag?
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah. Do you think it's political or do you think it's deeper than that? I mean, you're not like a right winger.
No.
No. You don't even seem that political.
No, I'm not really. I'm pretty much, just want to do right by the people, So if that comes through political means, that comes through the private sector, wherever it comes, I'm down to work with whoever's down to do something right for the people.
While Ice Cube has made it clear that he does not support Donald Trump, his criticisms of the American political system have led some to believe he is flirting with right-wing ideologies. He has called for a third-party candidate and criticized both major political parties, arguing that they fail to serve the interests of the people.
I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not a Trump voter. You actually attacked Trump at one point, but you were willing to meet with Trump. Do you think that crossed a line?
I think some people didn't like that, but I think it's idiotic. Enemies meet.
Right.
They talk. I'm pretty sure there's some communication between Russia and the Ukraine right now. Somebody's on the phone talking to somebody, trying to come up with a solution. So we just got to talk. That's the only way was willing to speak to the Trump administration, and I was willing to speak with the Biden administration as well,
Have you?
One guy in the administration, but it didn't go anywhere. It was basically a, take my temperature kind of call. We'll get to it, but, they never got to it or never planned to. As a matter of fact, the guy left the administration, so after talking to him for a year or so, he was gone, and then, we were left really with no one to.
While Ice Cube has made it clear that he does not support Donald Trump, his criticisms of the American political system have led some to believe he is flirting with right-wing ideologies. He has called for a third-party candidate and criticized both major political parties, arguing that they fail to serve the interests of the people.
You probably do need a third candidate. You probably do need the people to show that these both parties that America deals with, Republican Party, Democratic Party, to really show them that we don't have to take what you're dishing. I just feel like the people could really take a stand. Polarization is the winning formula for the status quo.
This stance has put him at odds with Democrats, who feel his rhetoric undermines efforts to counter conservative politics.
What do you think of that Trump mugshot today?
It really don't matter. It don't do nothing for me.
Because isn't the idea of a mugshot so sort of emblematic that when it applies to a politician, it's a big deal, isn't it?
Is it? Doesn't seem like it.
Doesn't?
No. It don't seem like a big deal at all. Yeah, a thirsty man would take a dirty glass of water.
Ice Cube's refusal to endorse either major party has been praised by some as principled, but slammed by others as irresponsible in today's polarized environment.
He said the Democratic Party told him, Cube, wait till after the election and we'll do something for you. The Republican Party said, we'll interject your ideas into the platinum plan that Donald Trump has already started. That's already coming out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you tell me that you're gonna go vote for these Democrats after they've already proven that they ain't finna do nothing for you. I almost said a cuss word, but see, I'm saved. They ain't gonna do nothing for you. Nothing. Wait till after the election.
On Joe Rogan's podcast, Ice Cube discussed the corruption he perceives within the American political system. He criticized how money and influence dictate policies, echoing sentiments that resonate with those disillusioned by mainstream politics. However, his appearance on Rogan's platform, a show that often hosts controversial figures, has made him a target of criticism from those who believe he is aligning with problematic voices. America was a document proposing economic and social reform reforms aimed at empowering black communities. While the initiative received some support, it also garnered criticism, especially when Cube met with the Trump administration to discuss it.
Ice Cube has released a video kind of explaining what's been going on with him. Now, we know that Ice Cube came under a lot of attack from the Democrat shills and also those in the Democrat Party, you know, the left-wing white supremacists. They came under attack because he came out with the contract with Black America. He was attacked in many different fronts. First, we had the black feminists attack him, say that what about black women in this contract of Black America? The feminist Vivica Fox, he said at the time, well, it's the contract with Black America means black men and women. What did the feminists say? No. What you got in there about black women? So they attacked him on that, right? How dare Ice Cube said that, you know what? Well, let's talk to both sides. So he had reached out to Biden. What did Biden say? I'll talk to you after the election. Did Biden talk to Ice Cube? No, he actually sent Kamala in a group meeting online to talk to black people, and Ice Cube was there, but he said he didn't stay long because he didn't feel like it was a priority for them at all. He talked to Donald Trump and them, and when he had talked to Donald Trump, they had a back and forth about the contract with Black America, and some elements of the contract of Black America was actually in Donald Trump's platinum plan.
Ice Cube has also been vocal about his disapproval of certain trends in modern hip-hop, taking shots at artists like Kendrick Lamar and Drake. He has criticized the glorification of mistreatment and the negative influence it has on young fans, warning that industry feuds can escalate into real-world savageness. This critique, while valid to some, has alienated fans of these artists and sparked debates about generational differences within hip-hop culture.
So it's part of the game, you know, as long as it doesn't get physical, because that's not rap. You know, when it get physical, that's just street crime. So as long as it stay on wax, it's a beautiful thing. I think Kendrick is up. I think, you know, he's landed the more hard and effective punches, so to speak. But that don't mean that don't mean Drake can't get off the canvas. So I think if I was Kendrick, I'd stay cocked and loaded, you know, ready for
just in case
whatever's coming.
Ice Cube's interview on the PBD podcast added to the wave of criticism he has been facing. He spoke about power dynamics in Hollywood, suggesting that black rappers often lack control over their narrative.
I think it's about a little less than a year ago.
Yeah.
You make a video. Mm-hmm. And I watched the video. I don't even know where you were sitting. It just seemed like you're sitting at a place and you're kind of sharing your frustration. And you posted it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it goes tens of millions of views, right? And then afterwards, you go and you're like, if mainstream media doesn't want to have me on, I'm going to go and do my own thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you go on Rogan, you go on Tucker, you go all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? You go all over the place and you're kind of talking and you're doing what you're doing.
Hit Bill Maher.
You hit Bill Maher, which was kind of interesting. You've had a Bill Maher situation before where you called him out directly. It wasn't this one.
Yeah.
That was the Bill Maher of, I think, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, or whoever you're talking to. You said, The View didn't want to have me on. Then you said, even Oprah Winfrey didn't want to have me on. You know, when you're trying to promote your big three, you're trying to build your business and all this other stuff. And at that time, some people are like, well, you know, why don't they want to talk to this guy? Why wouldn't they want to talk to him? And then you say, you give him the, you know, maybe it's not, if you were to maybe put a new song a year ago, my visualization would have been, instead of saying fuck the police, maybe the title would have been fuck the mainstream media. Right? Let's just say, if you chose to make a comeback. So at this point of being in this business this long, Hall of Fame, Walk of Fame, you name it, you got all of them, right? Who has the most power in the entertainment industry?
His candid discussion about being blacklisted by certain Hollywood figures and media personalities like Oprah further fueled the narrative that Ice Cube feels marginalized by the very industry he helped shape.
Who has the most power? It's some very powerful entities out here, you know. Maybe BlackRock has the most power in Hollywood. Who knows?
You'd say BlackRock. I wouldn't disagree with you. They're on BlackRock.
Vanguard,
State Street, those guys.
maybe they have the most power in entertainment.
You think more than like a Lucian Grange?
Yeah, he's just, he could be fired.
He could be fired.
Yeah.
Leor, even these guys could be fired.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So you're going straight to the top. Who has the most power? So you think there's so much power that if they wanted to not have a guy like you be heard, they would do their best to not have a guy like you be heard?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little too late. I got a lot of records out there.
You think the entertainment industry is going through major disruption or not yet?
Yeah, I mean, because the entertainment industry has to deal with artificial intelligence, artificial art, artificial influence, artificial inspiration, artificial, pictures, movies, music. And we're going to have artificial fun with it.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be here if it isn't already, right?
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.